Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to a new video. In this video, I'm going to be pitting two AIs against each other and have them debating. Basically, one side is the atheistic side and one side is the side believing that God exists. I think this is a huge question that's like constantly debated. So I'm like, what if we had one AI on one side, the other AI on the other side, and have them kind of argue against each other and see what happens, right? So the format of this video is there's going to be basically a couple of rounds between these two AIs where they kind of go back and forth. We have one pro side, one con side, and we see kind of the different counterpoints they're going to bring up, the different arguments they're going to bring up, how they interact with each other, and it should be pretty interesting. So let's hop right in. Alright guys, so the format of the debate is that I'm going to basically give each side this kind of prompt to set up the character, aka just stuff like, you're such a great debater, you really know a lot about this topic, you're going to respond with the best counterpoints, just a little bit of prompt engineering to get it primed. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go back and forth, we're going to have 3 main rounds, and we're going to basically just be going back and forth between these two AIs and seeing how they respond to each other. So honestly, without further ado, let's just hop right in. Alright guys, so I'm going to start out here actually with the pro side, and here you guys can see my little prompt I got here. Pretty interesting, just kind of get it in the mood of the debate. And then now I'm basically gonna say, present your opening statement for the pro side, outlining the main arguments and the basis of your stance, and we'll see what happens. See what it gives us for an opening statement. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed opponents and attentive audience. Sheesh. Alright. Let's see what it has. Okay. The nature of moral law. Cosmological argument. Okay, everything that begins to exist has a cause, yeah. Pretty interesting. Tuning laws finely tuned. That's also true. That's also true. Teleological argument. Complexity of the universe. Yeah, that's also there. Can't be attributed to random chance. And then yeah, basically the intrinsic values of morality. Yeah, experiential. 100%, but this is honestly pretty good. You guys can pause and read out the whole entire thing, but this, yeah, so you got the teleological, the cosmological, and kind of just the fact that people morally have a compass, which is all pretty good arguments. Now let's go ahead and have the other side go ahead and give its opening statement. So I'm going to basically say a similar thing here. Present your opening statement for the con side, outlining the main arguments and the basis of your stance. Let's go. See what we got here. Okay, a profound respect for the scientific method. Sheesh. Alright. Yeah, so burden proof lies on people who are claiming the existence. Okay, problem of evil. Yeah, that's also there. They always bring up that one. Yeah, and then basically science is the third one. Okay. Diversity and contradiction. Yeah, so they're saying it's more cultural because of the differences in religions of different cultures, I guess. Okay. Interesting. Okay, very interesting. So they both presented some pretty interesting stuff. I'm honestly pretty interested to get into round 1, see what we have here. So I'm just gonna tell them this. Round 1 has now begun. I'm gonna say delve into the first key argument and support it with evidence and reasoning. Okay, boom. So now let's see what he has here. The cosmological argument. Yeah, so basically the cosmological argument, yes, it's there. Whatever begins to exist has a cause. The universe began to exist, therefore the universe has a cause. Yeah. Here we go. We got our whole entire premise here, explaining it. Second premise supported by more philosophical argument, scientific evidence. Yep. Big Bang Theory. Big Bang Theory is there. An expansion of the universe, how the universe is expanding, 100%. Boom, yeah, I mean, cosmological argument, there we go. There we go. Yeah, it's typically what you see. Honestly, you did a pretty good job of explaining it here. Alright, pretty interesting. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this and then I'm gonna say here is what the other here is what the here is what so here's what your atheist opponent said in round. This is it. So round one has cited. Here is what your atheist opponent has said. Boom. Okay. Respond with a counter argument, presenting evidence and reasoning to refute or deny the pro side's points. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. This is where it gets very interesting, guys. Your thought-provoking attempt to rationalize these with the divine creator, however, several critical areas where it does not hold up to scrutiny. Oh, geez. Okay, refutation of the first premise. So it's basically saying yeah, so it's basically saying even though causality is basically common sense, it doesn't necessarily mean it has to apply to the universe, I guess. Okay. The universe began to exist, refutation. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so okay, so it's saying Big Bang Theory doesn't mean something had to precede it. Stuff like that. Philosophical, logical. Leap from a cause to a transcendent intelligent creator involves significant assumptions that are not warranted by the premises. Okay. Okay. Ultimately falls short by extending principles of causality beyond their empirical foundation, misinterpreting scientific theories, and making unwarranted leap from abstract premises to theistic conclusions. Sheesh, that's crazy, guys. That's actually crazy. Alright, so now let's go on to round 2 here. Basically gonna say this one, round 2 has started. Continue with a second round of argument exploring different facets of the topic. Okay, round 2. What are we gonna get for round 2, guys? See what he has to say. Great teleological argument. Yeah, design. Yeah, it's also huge. Everything's so complex, there has to be a designer. Yeah, so yeah, fine-tuning, the fine-tuning stuff. 100%, 100%. Strong nuclear force, gravitational constant. Yeah, if the rate of expansion 1 second after the Big Bang had been smaller by even 1 part in 100,000 million, the universe would have collapsed into a hot fireball. Sheesh. So that's pretty wild, right? I mean, this is what this is saying. I can't verify it, but yeah. Complexity of biological systems. Yeah, DNA. Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. Let's see what the response is. I'm honestly pretty interested now. So I'm gonna say round 2 has started. Here is what your theist opponent has said. Continue with a second round of counter argument exploring different facets of the topic. Alright. Let's see what he has to say. Here's the intuition seems to offer a straightforward explanation. The complexity fine tuning. Okay. Counter argument. Lack of understanding of the anthropic principle, which explains if we observe these particular conditions precisely because they're the ones that allow for existence. Yeah, so this is basically the counter argument. Yeah, so saying it just keeps on infinite regress because then the designer has to be like designed. Basically what it's saying. So misunderstanding evolutionary biology. Okay. Yeah. Irreducibility complex as proposed is a concept that's been thoroughly debunked by evolutionary scientists. Information in DNA. Yeah, so it's a logical fallacy basically is what it's saying. Designer leads to the question who designed God. If God does not require a designer due to being inherently different, this introduces arbitrary exceptions to the initial premise, undermining the argument's consistency. Okay. Alright, so that's what it has to say. That's what it has to say. I think now we're going to round 3, which will basically just be rebuttals. So what we do here, we'll take this. Okay, we'll take this, we'll go here, say round 3 has started. Present a, okay, let's say is what your atheist opponent has said. Provide rebuttals to the atheist side's previous points, highlighting weaknesses or offering counterpoints. Right, let's see what we got. See what he has to say. Thoughtful criticisms. While popular did not sufficiently undermine the argument's core premise, the complexity and fine-tuning of the universe point to the deliberate designer. Let's see, okay. Anthropic principle does not negate the improbability of its conditions existing in the first place. Yeah, because most conditions wouldn't even permit life. So why does it have these that do? Is basically what we got here. Cosmology audience previously discussed positives are unnecessary and cause. Yeah, the cause is outside of time and space, and it's not subject to the same rules of causality. Exactly, so it's not infinite regress. Rebuttal to the counter argument on complexity of biological systems. Yeah, so it's like how did the initial complexity happen, right? For the first cell, irreducible complex has been debated. Yeah, so even though it's subject to chemical laws, it still has the specific information necessary. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. It exists outside of the constraints of the created universe, so nothing has to have created God. Conclusion, what critiques of teleological argument do not dismantle the core proposition that fine-tuning of the universe and the complexity of biological systems suggest a deliberate designer. Okay, so that's what it has to say. I think it's pretty interesting now, guys. Guys, let me know what you think, but let me know who you think is doing better so far, because these 3 rounds have been pretty crazy. Alright guys, let me know what you thought of that video. I think it was pretty interesting seeing how the AI kind of answered different nuances and how it engaged in a debate. Go ahead and let me know any of your thoughts down below in the comments. Also join my Discord, it's in the description if you would like to. It has pretty huge community right now. Also guys, make sure to hit the like, make sure to hit the subscribe, and thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.